Hello, you're watching the business headlines on HW News with me, Ali Azhar. China, the world's second largest economy, has grown at a tremendous pace over the last 4 to 5 decades, ever since it's opened up its economy to the world in the 70s. While, in a way, it is good news that an Asian country is emerging as one of the largest economies in the world, thereby lending more balance to the ever powerful Western economies, the fact is that there is now enough proof that China is untrustworthy, dishonest, and hungry for world dominance at any cost. The world has already taken too long to realize that China, with its disregard for international laws and open imperialistic ambitions, is a danger to world order. Chinese firms are well known to use subversive means to achieve their objectives, which come at the cost of other nations. Take the most recent example of its telecom equipment and mobile phone maker Huawei, which was using its position to indulge in espionage and stealing security and trade secrets from different countries across the globe in which it operated. Finally, Donald Trump's America came down hard on Huawei and is batting for a complete ban on its services in the US and world over. A recent estimate suggests that Huawei is set to lose $30 billion this year because of trade problems with the US. But the second largest telecom brand in the world still expects to rake in $100 billion in revenue in spite of this, according to its CEO. Taking another example close to home, it has recently come to the attention of customs authorities in India that Chinese e-commerce firms have been escaping customs duty and GST while shipping goods ordered by Indians via their platforms by claiming them as gifts. Indian customs regulations currently allows tax exemptions on gifts sent to relatives in India by Indians living abroad up to a limit of 5,000 rupees. Indians living abroad usually send their relatives gifts on special occasions like Diwalis or birthdays. The Customs Act states that such gifts must be used for personal use, there should be no payment made by the recipient in India, and the value of the gift must not be more than 5,000 rupees for it to be exempt from customs duty. Chinese firms have been taking undue advantage of this exemption from customs duty and have been circumventing taxes by claiming these purchases as gifts. Many Chinese entities are not registered as businesses in India, thereby ruling out the scope for grievance redressal or returns by Indian customers. Several of such e-commerce sites display prices in Indian rupees and do not even provide invoices when the goods are delivered. And in cases where cash on delivery option is opted for, it makes it even more difficult for investigators to follow the paper trail back to the source. China Post, the state-owned official postal service of China, was found to be heavily subsidizing packages shipped to India to keep costs lower and pay lower duties. Chinese e-commerce sites such as Shein, Club Factory and AliExpress, among others, have been known to indulge in such unfair trade practices in which they have been carrying out commercial trade under the guise of gifts. Such practices by Chinese firms have been hurting Indian businesses, as goods being delivered in India without paying taxes make them much cheaper than similar products manufactured in India, with price differences in some cases being as high as 40%. In addition to causing revenue loss to the customs department, such practices, if unchecked over a period of time, can wipe out small and medium enterprise sector in India. Indian customs authorities have started a major crackdown on online purchases of goods from Chinese e-commerce platforms, and many seizures have been made in recent months. The government has severely restricted movement of such goods through Mumbai and is now planning to start a similar crackdown across India and other ports, including Chennai and Kolkata. In addition to the customs department, now even the post office department has been asked to scrutinize such purchases. Investigations revealed that at its peak, anywhere around 200,000 orders were placed every day through Chinese e-commerce platforms in India. After the crackdown, it has now come down to 120,000 orders a day. And to top it all off, after the government has come down hard on such e-commerce players, Chinese firms have been employing Indian agents and importers to do their dirty work for them in India. Mumbai Customs has seized around 500 parcels of Sino-India E-Tail, the official Indian seller for Chinese apparel maker Shein, and sealed their warehouse in the city for undervaluing and wrongly declaring goods. Parcels of another local unit of a Chinese e-tailer, Club Factory, named Globemax Commerce India, have also been seized. The giant infrastructure finance and leasing services, or IL&FS scam, shook the country and took many casualties down with it when it was uncovered in July of last year. It led to the liquidity crisis in the financial system, which saw the stock market tank and was responsible for a contagion effect that crippled many NBFCs, some of which still feel the effect of it till date. IL&FS was deemed to be an institution that was too big to fail, and when it started defaulting on its debt payments, which were in excess of 91,000 crore rupees, including borrowings from public sector banks, institutions across the financial system began to feel the heat. On investigation, agencies uncovered shocking details of wrongdoings, with instances of misreporting of income, dubious transactions, conflict of interest, evergreening of loans, and personal enrichment of key employees. The first order of action by the government was to supersede its board of directors with a new board, with eminent banker Uday Kotak as its executive chairman, so that no wrongdoings can be covered up. And then started the process of holding those responsible accountable. After a thorough investigation, the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, or the SFIO, arrested Hari Sankaran, former vice chairman of IL&FS, and Ramesh Bawa, former CEO of IL&FS Financial Services, or IFIN, in April. The Enforcement Directorate, or the ED, on Wednesday arrested Arun Kumar Saha, former joint MD of IFIN, and K. Ramchand, former MD of IL&FS Transportation Network. Auditors of the beleaguered firm were not spared at well, and rightly so. Charges levelled against two of the big four multinational audit firms, Deloitte and BSR & Company, which is an affiliate of KPMG, include failure to report evergreening of accounts, misrepresentation of facts, concealing of information, and failure to draw attention to round-tripping of funds and loans. A multitude of agencies are probing various wrongdoings by the auditors, including SFIO, MCA, NFRA, ICAI, SEBI, and ED. Thank you for watching HW News. This is me signing off. Have a great day.